The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah!
Go Cowboys!
Let's go, baby!
Are you ready for a break?
Yes.
Are you ready for a break?
Absolutely.
Ready for a break?
Yeah, and so much for that.
It's time for The Break on DallasCowboys.com.
We were on the break!
With Ambar Garcia, Brian Broaddus, Vach Lombardi, and Derek Eagleton.
It is Tuesday, November 18th, 2025, Season 21, Episode number 78. Welcome to the latest edition of The Break. We are live from the SWBC Mortgage Studios at the Star, presented by LG. LG is the world's #1 OLED TV brand for 11 years and counting. See why at LG.com/OLED Evo. We are tired, but it is our job today to break down what you saw last night. That was an impressive win by your Dallas Cowboys on the road in Las Vegas. They win 33-16 in what was, in my opinion, the most well-rounded game that they've played all season. And certainly from the standpoint of what we've seen this year from the defense, it is the first game for me where I felt like there was hope defensively for this team. I'll start there with you guys. Give me your story of the game. What do you think was the story of the game last night? I'll start you, Vach.
Let me tell you what the biggest story was. Matt Eberflus listens to the break. Ain't that something?
Are you going to give Matt some love today?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make
I'm
sure.
going to look him in the camera and tell him.
Give him some love today. He deserves a little love today.
But you asked what the damn storyline was. Matt Eberflus listened to the break, Derek.
Okay, all right.
Now, me and Brian don't have a clairvoyant bone in our body. We don't know what they gonna do before they go out there and do it. But it's like I gave them people a list. Derek. I say, hey, man, can we rotate these people a little less?
Yeah.
And you ain't got to overthink the interior guys. They all going to end up with the same. Just play them. You know what I'm saying? Play your new linebackers. They both play more than what's that. And throw your young DBs out there. You can stop the run with less, and you could dedicate another character like Marquise Bell, who's normally down, but now he get a pick because he's just back there.
He's just back in the right spot.
Just back there kicking it, right?
Yeah.
And I say, damn, man, Flus watches the break. Let me give a shout out to Flus for being a good listener, man, being one of our Lord. Yo, Flus, say something in the chat if you listening, man. Do us all a favor. Flus, I'm so proud. Let me take my glass. I was trying to be like Amber. Flus, we so proud of you, dog. We so proud of you. You wasn't being cute. It wasn't strange. It wasn't weird. At no point did I look at Flus and say, man, what is Flus doing? I know there's some people in the chat right now going, but Vach, it's just the Raiders, but just the Cardinals did it, and just the Giants did it. And, the Bears ain't losing games now. I don't know what the hell. And just the Panthers, everybody do it to you. Everybody do it to you. And for the first time in a long time, the other team didn't do it to you. I think that's worth talking about. I ain't going to take all the talking points because I know Amber got some fire over this. I know Brian got some fire. But I'm just so grateful. Okay, Amber want to take the
got her good shades on. She's like, I'm chilling.
My eyes, that is lies. I only slept like 2 hours, which is fine. We're here happy.
Yeah, we got it.
I'm just incredibly proud of Flus and what he was able to do. And if he do that 10 more times, man, we own to something.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Everybody trying to go to sleep, man.
No, I mean, I told myself I'm gonna stay positive because you have to enjoy what you were able to see yesterday, regardless of the Raiders having a really bad quarterback and regardless of who the opponent was. The fact, and just like you mentioned, Vach, we've seen them go up against other teams that are not really good teams either, and they haven't been able to really have a performance like this. You saw some You saw some change.
Say change and then hiccup first. Don't hiccup in the middle of it. I thought you cussed. Go ahead.
The look on Brian's face.
I saw some ish too.
Okay, let me get through it.
I saw some ish too.
Saw some change and some really positive things with the new additions and the players that came back and joined the defense. We had been talking about it all week. And I think, and I don't want to get too far ahead because we know that up next are the Eagles and then the Chiefs, and we know what's coming. But for now, I think this is a pivotal moment for the defensive coordinator, because right now, is a moment where Matt Eberflus can really change his path where it was headed to where now, if we truly continue to see this become a constant thing, he can potentially stay here. Not that he wasn't, but extend his career here with the Cowboys beyond the end of the season. So I think this is kind of a reset, a restart, and a new time to rewrite history here for the defensive side of the ball, where there can be hope not only for the season, because the season is not over yet for the Cowboys, but also for next year as well. Brian.
Point?
Fantastic point. Fantastic point from Ambar.
I was waiting for you to acknowledge that.
I just don't want to talk too much because the chat be tripping. But go ahead.
No, I'll tell you what though. Some of the things that I personally was worried about was how they were going to handle blocking Max Crosby.
Mm-hmm.
And when you dive into the film, you see exactly the plan. Now, the Max Crosby, the sack, the fumble, give the Raiders some credit for this on that particular play, the way that the safety played in the middle of the field. And they were going to try and throw the deep over to Lamb, and Dak thought better of it. And, maybe there was a time where Dak would have thrown that ball, and then you would have had an interception right there. So, Dak pulled the ball. He tried to get out of the pocket. It was a kind of a loop stunt that they did to Max, just effort player. That's just the kind of guy he is. Smith was in a bad position to block him. So, that's what happened. But that's really the one time. That is really the one time. 7 different Cowboys blocked him in that game yesterday. There's a time where I felt like previous regimes would not have thought it that far out. They wouldn't have tried to hit him with a guard. They wouldn't have tried to hit him with a tight end. They tried to bring Turpin all the way across to block him one time just to kind of get in his way. So tip of the cap to, they didn't let Max Crosby, other than that one play, and it was really a good hustle play on his part and good coverage on their back end that caused you to get that fumble and get that sack. But overall, though, I got to give them credit for the way that they attacked this Raider defense. There were a lot of holes, a lot of things that they went after. The receivers were outstanding. They ran the football well. The quarterback played very, very well in this game, but they did a great job of blocking that one particular guy that could have killed him in this football game.
Yeah, actually that play set off what I thought was a series of plays that was the story of the game for me. Because when you look at that moment in the game, it was still early. Obviously, nothing was decided at that point. But Crosby creates the fumble, gives them the ball on the Dallas 15. And my immediate thought is, oh, gosh, okay, that's 7. Because that's what we've seen all season.
They're going to run it.
You got 15 yards. They're going to get 7 right here. And what happens? Kenny Clark gets a sack, sets them back 7 yards. Now they're at the 22. And then they have a receiver that and I think there was a little bit of pressure on that play, but the ball was a little bit off target. The defender was in the way, so he had to kind of throw it behind the receiver, but they couldn't complete that pass in the end zone. End up forcing him to make a 35-yard field goal.
That was Logan Wilson on the coverage with.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah. And so, and that to me, that series was what that game was. Pressure.
Yeah.
It was, even when they were in good situations, the defense stood up. Like, they let them drive down the field several times on drives, and they get down about the 30-yard line, and then it was just like the brakes came on. Yeah. And it wasn't just that they were making mistakes. It was that the defense was forcing mistakes. We saw a number of pass defenses last night. We saw a number and this is a team that we've been talking about all year. They hadn't been getting their hands on balls. The defenders, particularly secondary, hadn't been getting their hands on balls. Like, we saw last night a defense that was totally different than what we've seen all season. And that's why I really could care less about anybody who's saying this is about the Raiders, because I just say, did you see the Cardinals? And there have been really bad, in my opinion, bad offenses, bad quarterbacks that the Cowboys have made look really, really good. And there were opportunities last night when the Raiders could have looked really, really good.
Sure.
They were in positions like that when they were at the Cowboy 15, where Dallas still holds them to a field goal. So I just think that last night, you have to take that. You certainly don't know what that means about the next 3 games. What you do know is last night was different, and it was better. It was something we haven't seen from this defense all season. And it's what we've been saying all year. If you can just get a defense that's average, you working with something. And last night, you got a little more than average from that defense, and that's where it gets really interesting for this for this team going down the stretch.
There's going to be a lot of think pieces in Cowboy Nation this week, talking about edge pressure versus interior pressure. It's just going to be a lot of people giving their thoughts about it. And I tell you what, I was born in 92, so I wasn't around all this long, you know what I mean? But seeing interior pressure like that made me sit back in my chair and go, like, is this what new ball is? You know what I mean? Like, is this the way that we're all going?
Think about the best teams in the NFL.
Yeah, they all get busy in the middle. Me and Brian were at camp. And Solomon Thomas was your first one tech out there. He was just starting one tech. I was like, damn, man, Solomon don't really fit right there. He was cool, but he don't fit right there. And I just had this idea that he would get worn down because that's not his natural spot. Yeah. Kenny Clark gets here. In real life, one tech ain't his natural spot neither. If you watch a whole bunch of Green Bay film over the years, he's a 3, a 4-eye, a 5, and he'll play 0 sometimes, some 1, but mostly he's a 3 guy. So when there was this buzz around Cowboy Nation that Kenny was kind of getting worn down a little bit, it's because he's taking the most double teams he's ever taken in his life. Man, Derek Eagleton, boy, you put Quentin Williams in there.
It all changed.
You put Quinn. I was excited to see the defense run back.
That boy's good.
Yeah.
Let me go.
Good.
That boy good. Let me go. That'd be $8. Let me go find number 92. And Quentin Williams would get pushed in the middle. I don't even think the Raiders had a great plan for him. No. Because there were sometimes they would end up double teaming somebody else on accident and let Quentin Williams get a one-on-one ass whooping. And then they'll go and double Quentin, and Clark looks ridiculous now.
Yeah.
And they're also getting busy now. And your edge guys are doing exactly what Vosh said, because Flus watched the break, exactly what you thought the edges were going to do. And it's like everybody's in their natural place now. You remember a couple weeks ago we was talking about the Broncos. And I was jealous that every part of their defense played off of each other. Mm-hmm. And that the Cowboys defense felt like a collection of guys. Mm-hmm. Man, we got some 3-techs playing an A-guy, Brian, bro. We got some 5s playing B. You know what I'm saying? It felt like, and Quentin Williams could be the piece to it. And he was whooping feet by himself. Mm-hmm. It just feels like everybody was in their natural place now. And we'll see Flus did a fantastic job. Flus, I'm looking at man. You did a fantastic job of bringing an extra body sometimes. It was a linebacker sometimes. It was a down lineman sometimes. But it wasn't about just blitzing, let's say, Marquise Bell like Donovan Wilson. Mm-hmm. It was about making it 5 versus 5 with your offensive line. So now you can't double Quentin, or you can't double Kenny Clark.
And now you just win.
And now you just win your one-on-one battles on the opposite side, not even about the guy that's, blitzing. Mm-hmm. I'm like, man, where did Flus learn how to play chess like that? And it worked out for us.
Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a break. And when we come back, I got a question for you. I got a question for y'all. I got a question. I want to ask you, does this, what we saw last night, does it vindicate Flus in some ways to where maybe this was less about him and scheme and all? Well, does this vindicate Flus a little bit? And maybe Flus just didn't have players, and now he's got some players, and maybe that's the difference. We'll talk about that when we come back. This is DallasCowboys.com radio.
Slow down.
Stop giving stuff away.
If you can't be at the stadium, there's no better way to watch your Cowboys than on an LG OLED Evo TV. That's because everything you see is more lifelike. Every play, every hit. I mean, you might as well be on the sidelines. That's how clear it is. It's all thanks to LG's legendary technology. Perfect black, over 8.3 million self-lit pixels. No one comes close. LG OLED Evo is the best TV in the game for a reason. See for yourself at lg.com/OLED Evo.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman here, the official pitmaster of the Dallas Cowboys. This holiday season, I've got Yeti's new insulated bowls and food storage working overtime. The insulated bowls are amazing. It'll keep queso warm or guacamole fresh. And the food storage containers protect my ingredients and help me stay organized. They also make great gifts for the host, making Yeti bowls and food storage MVPs for the holidays. Get yours at Yeti.com or a Yeti store near you.
I'm home. Hey, Mom. Before you ask, I've done my homework and the dishwasher's unloaded.
Nice. Hey, can you... Hey, hon, yes, I've got the finale ready to play. Here's your wine.
Wow. Isn't it nice not having to ask? We think so. That's why if there's a network interruption, AT&T will proactively credit you for a full day of service. Guaranteed. Credit for fiber downtime lasting 20 minutes or more, or for wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impacting 10 or more towers. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for details.
Cowboys fans, here's the game plan. Touchdown Tuesday at Take 5 Oil Change. Just wear your Cowboys gear and save 25% on your oil change. No huddle, no overtime. Just drive in, stay in your car, and roll out. You'll be tailgate ready in 10 minutes flat. Keeping up with your car shouldn't be a tough call. Take 5 makes it as easy as calling the coin toss. Take 5 is the official oil change of the Dallas Cowboys. Visit take5.com to find a location near you. Offer valid through December 31st, 2025. Terms and conditions apply. Valid only at participating locations.
If you shout, "How about them Cowboys?" you have that undeniable passion that's the heart of Cowboys Nation. And if you like to drink Dr. Pepper, you love the unique blend of its 23 flavors. Together, your one-of-a-kind fandom paired with the one-of-a-kind taste of a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper is the game day lineup that can't be beat. Better yet, gather your Cowboys and Dr. Pepper fan friends to watch the next game and crack open a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper for everyone. The wins will be even tastier. It's a pepper thing.
Back to the break.
Not today.
Choose perfection. Choose LG OLED Evo. Check out the best TV in the game at LG.com.
Old man shades.
Welcome back. That's funny.
You guys
Welcome
are
back.
so rude.
Them joints flip.
Wait, what?
You guys are so rude.
I'm sorry.
Speaking over my read,
Did I miss your read? I'm sorry. Did you do it?
get the TVs for the people.
I thought Amber only
Get
got
the
an
TVs
attitude
for
with
the
me.
people. That's all.
No, she's got plenty of attitude for me, man.
She talk crazy. The Hefe, man, that's crazy.
Hey, man.
She know what that means.
Hey, it is what it is. We met. Do you remember
She know
the
what that
name
means.
of the folks we met last night? We met some listeners to the break. They were like, "We love the break." We met on the sideline, and
I just need to shut up though. That what they say?
no, they were like, we love all
But
the
he
folks
asked
on the
Derek,
break.
"Hey, where are the TVs?"
Yeah, no, he did ask me.
What a TV.
I'm like, this is taking on a whole. I'm trying to give y'all gifts, and y'all acting like, "Where's my gift?" Like that ain't right. Nothing about that is right.
It would just behoove you to just give away the TVs.
Yeah.
Just find a TV.
Okay, I need to put it on my to-do list.
Oh,
All
it's
over the
not even on the
sponsorship.
to-do list.
Man,
It's not.
That
I'm
phone
just trusting
dead,
them.
man. You ain't
I'm trusting them to do what they got to do. I just need to hit them up and be like, "Where are TVs?"
Man, Derek ain't typing nothing on
Shout out to
Yeah,
Cowboys
'cause I gotta
Nation.
do
They all showed up
Oh, that was
yesterday,
dope,
last
yeah.
night. There was a huge crowd. That stadium gets crazy loud. Like, it's so loud.
Now it helps that we can actually hear, because in most stadiums, just so everybody knows, in most stadiums there's glass in the press box. You can't really hear the
open air.
crowd. This is
Yeah.
an open air stadium, and so you
But it
actually
felt
feel
really
like you're
50-50
immersed, and
for
it
crowd.
definitely was. You couldn't really. It felt like a I don't know, a Texas OU kind of game where you couldn't really tell by the roar of the crowd what was happening, because it was pretty much a lot of fans on both sides.
Pickens TD run, you could tell there were a lot of Cowboy fans because you could hear it building as he was running.
Yeah,
You know,
part of that might have been me. I was like, "Oh, whoa, hey!" Well,
Yeah.
it was crazy. That was crazy. All right,
Real quick, before Vach takes over, I just wanted to point something out. Looking at the stats and defense.
The second segment of the break is brought to you by blockchain.com. Please.
thank you. You're doing your job. Finally,
Amber.
finally.
Ding,
Amberlita.
ding.
Come on, Beam.
He didn't.
He's
He didn't
over
ding
it.
you.
Beam gone.
had enough.
Beam is
bad.
asleep.
Yeah, he's-
He was on that
But
plane last
real
night.
quick,
Shout
just
out to
looking
Blockchain.
at the stats, the defensive stats, and we've been talking about all these guys. A lot of these obviously don't have record-breaking stats or anything. Some of these are just one tackle, but still, it felt so good to see a lot of the guys that we kept talking about, wanting to see them come back, get on the field, like Revel, for example, to get at least something to, in their first game, overshown, get something. We talked about Wilson, we talked about Quinnen Williams, and what he did there. So it's exciting, even though it was little taste, but to get you ready for what's coming up next. But they all looked in really good form. Kalen Carson, with some of the jobs he did, granted, I think there were some bad quarterback throws there, but it's all right. It worked out for his in our favor.
Revel seems like he knows this defense really well already, and that could be him sitting down for a while and just kind of studying, or he played a bunch of match in college or whatever. But there was a handful of times where the Raiders tried to do a little shimmy wimmy there, and he kind of saw it. Like he didn't
shimmy wimmy.
a shimmy wimmy. He didn't fall for the
like
for
that,
the
though.
bait. He didn't take the cheese, so
Belly
to speak.
dance.
Yeah.
He didn't take the cheese, so to speak. So Revel so far in his 19-something plays, bro,
19.
however many plays, he had some pretty good awareness for what they was trying to do. I've seen other Cowboy corners eat the cheese.
Okay, I'm gonna get back to that. We're actually gonna go through some of the players, all the players that were either new or returning, and I want to give you guys an opportunity to talk about what you saw.
Yeah.
But before we get to that, though, I do want to ask the question that we teed up before the break. Eberflus. Last night we saw something very different from this defense. Yeah. And my question for you guys was, what we saw more in relation to Flus doing different things, or was it more in relation to Flus finally got some players? He's got a beast up front. Like you said, you got your one technique that makes everybody, we saw it, everybody on the defensive line was better instantly by having Quinnen Williams out there. Is this more a reflection on the fact that the defensive coordinator finally had the players in the right place, which is not necessarily his fault? Does this vindicate him, what we saw last night?
Me go first?
Sure, go ahead.
Man, Flus, we gonna go ahead and celebrate you for another 10 or so hours, and then we're gonna move on to the Eagles.
We're gonna start killing them again?
Hey, man, I need to see that 10 more times play, and then we'll have a conversation. You know what I mean? But Flus.
Right.
Yeah, you're asking that question a little too soon.
That's all right.
I'm giving Flus benefit.
Flus, man.
For one game.
It's okay. I'll let y'all talk.
Go ahead, man.
You
Go
do
ahead.
that all the time. Relax. You do that all the time. Proceed.
The lip about to start quivering.
Yeah.
You see?
Man, Quinnen definitely helps. Quinnen definitely helps, but I think it was a lot more going on with this scheme. I think it was putting guys in places where they had no business being. I think that the Cowboys rotated a bunch of guys. I think a lot of guys got in the game, and some attempt to keep everybody fresh. But I think that Vach gave you a good little list. Flus, cousin Vach gave you a list, man. And I just think we just need to come together and be like, the best dudes got to play. No hard feelings. Shouts out to Kyrie Elam, man. And, I want him to take this the best way possible. Wheezy, Bridges, I want you to take this the best way possible, man. But the group of DBs that was out there
But with all due respect.
the group of DBs that was out there yesterday, it's just a better group.
No
It
doubt.
is what it is.
Just look at the inactive list. That's all you need to know.
Kenneth Murray played less reps than Logan and Overshown. No disrespect to Kenneth Murray, man. It just kind of is what it is.
And he might have had his best game.
Might have had his best game. Maybe less is more with him.
Yeah.
Dante Fowler played 11 snaps.
11 snaps.
Not even on teams.
That's not a lot.
11
at all.
for Dante Fowler.
Wow.
That you paid some bread to.
Yeah.
But it is what
Not
it is.
crazy bread, but
It ain't crazy bread, but we gave you this to come back type. You know what I mean?
Jamar James played less last night.
Yeah,
too, and he's been a guy that the last couple of weeks has got well over 50 snaps a game. Yeah, you now have better players, and I mean that in no disrespect to the players, but when you start to talk about, Maris Leofau hadn't played a whole lot. I feel bad for him, but he's a special teams guy. That's kind of what he is. Damone Clark. You don't need Damone Clark anymore. You really don't. You don't need Bridges anymore. You can move on from Elam. Yeah. There's guys that you now can you feel like that, and we'll see what happens against Philadelphia. But for 9 weeks, 10 weeks, you saw others play, and it wasn't good enough. Now, was it Flus's fault as well? Sure.
Yeah, because you got to adapt.
You got to adapt. But what did they do? What did they do in the game yesterday? With the way that they were able to play more zone coverage. They've been playing a lot of man. They were bringing a lot more blitzes. You saw it with Overshown blitzing. You saw guys attack in the pocket, and they knew that the Raiders couldn't protect. They do, and Dallas did a great job of shutting down the run, too. So, a lot of it has to do with these players. Like I say, better players make better coaches. Mm-hmm. It works every time that way.
I think yes, absolutely agree with everything you guys said. You're better talent-wise. You have better talent on the defensive side of the ball. But also, like I said earlier, I think it's a little too soon. We got to watch what happens next week and the week following after that. But at the same time, I think also, and they paid a big tribute to Marshawn Nealon in that game, I think the defense was so fired up, and it was a very emotional game leading up to it. We talked about it on here, but also just seeing the way that they honored him and how present he was in that game for them. They brought out his jersey, set it right behind the bench for the defensive side, right there on the sideline. So I think with that, they were playing with a different energy last night, is what I'm trying to say. Is that energy going to carry over? We'll see. But I think all in all, they had so many different things that they were able to overcome together as a family, as a united group. And it was exciting, but sometimes, can the energy stay there or not?
Yeah, and and I think you're absolutely right about the energy and what you're playing for, Ambar, but they're playing for their season.
Yeah.
They've now turned into the desperate team theory. Every week now. They can't afford a loss. Mm-hmm. And if you go out there and play half-ass and you get beat by Arizona, or you go out, you go out and you play not to the level, and they did that. They did that plenty up until last night. Yes, they've got guys back. Yes, it looks a lot different. But they are basically playing for it. There's a reason why George Pickens is trying to score on every single play when he has the ball in his hands. There's Lamb and others, Hunter Lipke. Just go down the list. While they're trying to block one guy with 7 different people, they're to the point in time now. There's no more looking back. It's now all got to be forward. They handled this tragedy with a lot of class. I think the NFL, the Cowboys, everybody, the way they've honored the young man, I think is super impressive. Play hard for his memory. But their football lives, and I say this football lives just because of the profession, not making it more big than it is.
Sure.
It's a game. But their football lives, their jobs are now on the line every week. They cannot afford to stumble against anybody. And so if you don't see the energy, then we'll be talking about the draft next week.
Yeah.
You see the energy, they're capable of winning against anybody in the league.
But I really do look at this, and I think when you look at how this game played out, this game was very similar offensively to what we've seen all season. They got off to a slow start, and what could have happened was what would have happened in a lot of other weeks this year.
Down 14.
Yeah, exactly, because you got the Cowboys went punt, fumble, field goal. That was their first 3 possessions, right? And the Raiders went punt, field goal, field goal. In most games this season, those 2 field goals would have been touchdowns.
Yep.
You're 14-3 now going into the second quarter.
Yeah.
And that's where it changes everything. Now your offense has to figure it out. Like, they don't have the benefit of kind of easing into it and then finding their footing. And then once they find their footing, okay, now just keep killing them. Just keep hitting them, right? I think that's the difference, is that this defense held I keep calling it Oakland, held Las Vegas to situations where they just weren't able to get into the end zone, and that just hasn't been the case this season. It's what we've been saying. If you get a defense that can just play pretty good, that can just give you some stops in the middle of the game, give your offense an opportunity to get going, this offense is hard to deal with if you give them a chance to get going.
And it's kind of my issue with Flus in this way. And Flus, we're going to celebrate you for about 7 more hours, man. We're going to go right back to our regular scheduled programming, sir. But I kind of want the defensive coordinator to be a guy that can take players that maybe aren't the most talented and figure out a way to kind of get it done, so that then when you do get players, you become a fantastic type defense. I just think about some of the teams in the conference, or just around the league. Like San Francisco have had all kinds of adversity with Mac Jones throwing the football on the other side, and they still find a way 75. On. You know what I'm saying? Like they're winning football games because of defense. It's not like the offense is blowing anybody out, and Warner's hurt. They've lost edges, they've lost corners, defense tackles, and they still find a way to call a defense that's not getting them absolutely smoked. They got whooped by the Rams, but the Rams are fans. It is what it is. But what I wanted was for Flus to be like, man, I'm going to figure this out a little bit with Murray. But then when Overshown comes back, we're going to be even better. Mm-hmm. So now we you know what I mean, Flus, you did well, man, but all that next year stuff, we'll see, man.
All right, we're gonna take our final break. When we come back, I do want to flip to the offensive side of the ball, because Dak Prescott had a night, and we're not really talking about it as much. I said Dak Prescott, did I not?
No, you said
What?
Is that what I said?
You said it right.
No,
I said Dak Prescott.
Right.
You heard.
I thought Amber said a cuss word earlier. I don't know what.
I ran out of breath. I didn't say a cuss word. I ran out of breath. But when we come back, I want to know the juicy story as to why those 2 guys got benched.
The funny part is Pickens' response, but we'll talk about that when we come back.
I love GP.
That's Cowboys.com radio.
Every day begins with a promise to work hard and to build a future. That's why we're here, providing the tools, expertise, and John Deere equipment you have relied on for generations to help you get the job done right. We're with you. That's our promise to you. Because no matter the project or the challenge you're facing,
we're with you. We're united.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
I'm home. Hey, Mom. Before you ask, I've done my homework and the dishwasher's unloaded.
Nice. Hey, can you... Hey, hon, yes, I've got the finale ready to play. Here's your wine.
Wow. Isn't it nice not having to ask? We think so. That's why if there's a network interruption, AT&T will proactively credit you for a full day of service, guaranteed. Credit for fiber downtime lasting 20 minutes or more, or for wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impacting 10 or more towers. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for details.
From the field to the festivities, Lucchese embodies the essence of luxury and tradition. Handcrafted with meticulous precision, each pair offers unmatched comfort and style. Stand tall while you're tailgating or cheering in the stands with the Dallas Cowboys collection by Lucchese. Shop the collection today at the Lucchese store at the Star in Frisco or online at lucchese.com. Lucchese, the official boot of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders.
How's it going? You see that Cowboys game?
Oh, I watched. Been seeing some good things.
Totally. They have some talent.
Yup, some great talent.
And they got some fight.
Hoping this is the year.
Me too. Oh, I'm Cody, by the way.
I'm Travis.
Nice to meet you, Travis. Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys!
Make a new friend based solely on their shirt choice. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Copyright 2025 Bank of America Corporation.
Back to the break.
AT&T connecting changes everything.
Welcome back. It is the final segment of the break, live from the SWBC Mortgage Studios at the Star. Man, it's so nice when the Cowboys get a win. Everything just feels a little bit better.
Yeah.
Even here's the blockchain.
Chris
Now we
woke
get
up.
the blockchain.
Chris
is awake.
Somebody kicked his chair.
15 minutes, all you need.
There was one moment that was a little curious last night. So the game begins, and the offense takes the field, and we don't see George Pickens no, I take that back. We see George Pickens, and we see CeeDee Lamb, but they are not on the field with the offense. Yeah. And so what happened? Like after the game, it was interesting because it was kind of funny actually, because there was kind of this. We first met with CeeDee Lamb, and CeeDee was like, he was asked about it, and he's like, that's between us and coach. And it's like, all right, cool. And I was not in on Schottenheimer's press conference, but I heard he said a similar thing like that's between me and the players. We got this figured out. Pickens, though.
Ain't nobody tell Pickens lie.
Somebody didn't tell him because he was asked the question.
Wasn't briefed.
And he said, well, something to the effect of, it was more strategic.
We
thought they were going to do some things that would make sense for us to put our top 2 offensive playmakers on the bench. I don't know what that would be, but it was something that would make them do that. And then he was made aware that, hey man, it's kind of out there that this was for disciplinary reasons. And then he got the memo. Yeah. All right, yeah, that's between me and
that's mind your business, basically.
And I love how he did it. He did it all with a straight
so
face.
Funny.
He is hilarious. Yeah. Now I don't know how funny he would have been if they lost, but after a win, it's hilarious. It was great. What do you guys think? Like I actually look at that and I'm like, it's one of the basic tenets of leadership, whether it is with kids or whether it is with adults. Mm-hmm. When you say this is the standard has to remain the standards, and there has to be consequences for not meeting the standard. Otherwise, there is no standard. Mm-hmm. What do you guys think?
Man, there's a lot of people that think Shotty's too nice and too buddy, and that he wouldn't be able to discipline anybody if it came down to it. I think that was his opportunity to do so, and I've seen Shotty cuss people out because they fight in their camp and stuff like that. Like we've
seen some of this. Yeah.
We know how he get down, but like everybody may not have seen that. I think what was most important about it was like how loud Diggs' benching was. You know what I mean? Like when they kind of sat him down because of whatever. So you can't bench Diggs loudly and then just be like, okay, well, y'all just go play. Like we wouldn't know, but the people in the locker room would know. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey man, and Diggs might come out loudly and say, because he might tweet something. Micah might tweet for him or something. They'd be like, hey man, that's crazy how y'all ain't do X, Y, Z. Keeping the same energy. Nobody wanted to see, and no disrespect to these guys, but the first drive of the game, Flo, Turpin, and Tolbert. Like nobody wanted that to be your wide receiver.
Seen
set.
that for a lot of years.
Like that's your 11 person. Like we didn't want to see that. But I think in the long run, I think Shotty got a lot of respect from his locker room because he's kept the same energy with the seniors, with the good players, and all this kind of stuff. So shouts out to Shotty.
I thought a couple of things. When it happened last night, I was thinking, where was Derek Eagleton walking behind them, telling them, "Hey, listen, if you go in there, you're going to get fired."
What are you talking?
When me and Rob Phillips, when Derek told us not to go in the sports book, we just needed Derek Eagleton to walk behind the players and tell them whatever you're thinking about right now.
Let's just make clear there was nothing that suggested they were doing any gambling or any places they shouldn't be like that. I want to be clear about that.
Yeah. But to me, it was they needed the voice. Yeah, they needed the voice. That's what I was kind of saying. Right?
Somebody be like, chill out.
Yeah, just don't think about it. But what's even more amazing, if something did happen, it's amazing that they played as great as they did. Yeah. That just shows you what kind of players these guys are.
It's almost like, hey,
if there was something that happened and it was disciplinary and it was, we find out later on what it is, tip of the cap. These guys can line up and play the way they play. That's good for them.
Until further notice, y'all are no longer starters.
Needing a win, like needing a W that bad. You sit the best receiver in football. You know what I'm saying?
The thing about it is though,
who you calling the best receiver in football? Huh? Who you calling the best receiver in football? I'm being messy, but
Amber, who you think the best receiver in football is?
No, we go hit that later. We go hit that later.
No. I what I was really. I think, the point about the discipline part, I hate to say this, I think Diggs has received it worse.
In what way?
The kind of the scorn and and I'm not sitting here trying to, cape for Diggs, but I'm just saying though, I think the criticism of him and some of the off the field stuff or whatever seems far more harsh towards him than it did for two players that missed the opening series.
Is that because there have been reports? I mean, going back to the offseason, he wasn't here when they wanted him to be here. Does it also factor in the amount of time and the number of times where fans are kind of like just a little bit like, what's going on? Not to say any of that was legitimate or true, but you just keep hearing things over time. Maybe that affects you a little more.
Fox just brought the statement up. He said the same energy.
Yeah.
I don't see the same energy for the two wide receivers as I do for Diggs.
Right, but here's my question. Let's say that we get, and I'm not saying this is going to happen. Let's say we get to, week 16, and this has happened now 2 more times. Mm-hmm. Does the energy change? Like right now, everybody's kind of like, all right, you handled it. It's all good. They came out, they played well. Cowboys get a win. It's all good. GP, that was funny, man. That was funny how you did that. Now let it happen again. Does it start to change? Let it happen a third time. Does it change? Like that's my point. Is the energy that you're sensing about Trayvon more related to time?
We don't know what all the things have happened with Diggs. We don't know if there's multiple meetings or multiple curfew.
No, we do. But what we do know is that going back to the offseason, he wasn't here.
Yeah.
And there was conversation about that.
Right.
And we know that was an issue, right? So we know that this has been going on. No, I'm just saying, but there's been things that's been persisting since the offseason. And so when you get into the season and now he's not healthy, and then you get into the situation where there's all this cloud about what happened with the whole concussion thing, I think that's where you start thinking, okay, maybe it's the matter of time and the number of times that his name has come up in negative things. That's why the energy is a little different. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah, I don't, like I said, to me, this is it's almost like college football, with like, oh, you're going to sit out the first series of the game and you're back in there. Hey, I'm glad they're back in. I mean, they were really one of the reasons why you won that football game. But I'm just saying, though, we talk about we're praising Shoddy for things. I wonder if it's this, and Jimmy Johnson said it best. He treats star players different than, and I'm not saying that Diggs is not a star player or something like that, but it just, to me, it seems like Diggs has taken a lot of arrows for what he's done. And you might be absolutely right about this.
Well, I think at least with the two wide receivers.
You're going to need Diggs.
I do too.
Yeah.
But going back to Diggs, I feel okay to say this. There's a lack of commitment based on the things that you've seen from the outside, or my perspective.
This
going
is your
back
observation?
To training camp. This is my observation from things going back to training camp.
Okay.
We all have eyes. We all were witnessing, the behaviors and stuff. And again, I can only speak from my point of view and the things that I see. There are a lot of things that I don't see. I have no clue what those conversations are. But there's only the things that you can see and start creating your own stories in your head. I think you see the differences when you talk about, let's say, a player like Overshown and his recovery of things versus Diggs and the things you hear about as far as his recovery on things. And we still don't know the story of what actually happened with the concussion, but I know it's been brought up that he's still dealing with that knee injury and all of that. We still haven't had clear updates. But going back to the wide receivers, and I see people mentioning like, oh, they only set them out for like 2 minutes. True, but Shuddy's not dumb either. Like, he has to win that football game. And initially, I was like taken aback when we heard about it before the game started. I'm like, wait, what do you mean? What do you mean they're sitting out for the first series? And I'm like, that's the kind of punishment I would give is like, after practice, do 1,000 more push-ups or something crazy.
Let's do some gassers. We do something different.
Yeah. But the fact that he did that, again, even though it was just a little thing, but what else could he do that day? So it's a tough position to be put in. And with Diggs, I feel like there's still a lot of information that we still don't know.
Right, and I think that's the point. Like, I don't want to, say that he did this or didn't do this or whatever. What I'm saying is, I think from the standpoint of the outsider, people that are looking from the outside in, you just keep hearing his name and stuff, and that's it might not be anything, but you keep hearing it. And this happens to, I think, to some players where it's like, this used to be the T.O. thing. Like, T.O. never really got any bad trouble. He wasn't the guy that was off the field getting into trouble all the time. Yeah. But his name was just always popping up with, oh, he didn't show up here, he didn't do this. It was just, and whether it was true or not, his name was just always associated. And that's where I think Diggs is kind of getting, and I'm speaking more from the fan standpoint, I think Diggs is getting a lot more of that negative energy from fans because what they're hearing are these just mentions of him in negative ways. They're just continuing to hear, man, I don't know what's happening over here. And it's because I don't think there are a lot of people who really know exactly what has happened in all these situations, but it seems weird. And so that's why I think he's getting so much of this negativity thrown his way, much more than at this point what GP is getting.
If Diggs was getting all the interceptions, Diggs, like he was like 4 years ago, you know what I'm saying? If he was 11 pick Diggs, I don't think people would care about if he missed or something, if he fussed with somebody, if he got his own trainer, what
got a concussion at the house. Other than him missing games, they probably like, whatever. Who cares?
If you get 11 picks, we don't care what you did at the house.
That's fair.
Those same reports can happen to GP right now. Hey man, GP the best receiver in football right now. We can't even who cares? So I think if Diggs goes out there and plays some football, maybe some of those things will kind of go away a little bit. But if you get noise and you're not putting nothing on the field, because GP went right out there and we cared less about what him and CD did last night.
Yeah, as he's bowing people over, we like, hey man, I don't care what you did last night. Do it next week.
Miss again.
Just real quick though, I think the early Dak and early Zeke situation, Zeke always seemed to get in trouble, but Dak was with him.
Yeah.
It takes a certain level of knowing when danger is around the corner to get out of the danger.
Right. I think that was the difference. Dak might have been around, but Dak knew when it was like, I'm out.
Hey, there was
he was at the house, but he wasn't in that room.
Right. He's like,
there's
I'm
a
out.
front door guy and a back door guy.
Yeah.
You know, and you got to figure those things out.
Yeah, I had some buddies like that in college. It was
Not
like
saying
some of them knew. Stop. Some of them knew when. Some of them knew when to say enough is enough.
Ryan.
Not saying pause. You can just book that right now.
That's a wrap, man. Hey, appreciate you guys joining us. We'll be back. We'll be back tomorrow.
Chill out.
Hey, we jump right back in. We got to start talking about these Eagles. That's coming up quick on Sunday.
You know.
So we'll jump into.
Whoa.
We'll jump into the Philadelphia
I don't know a
offense
damn thing.
versus the Cowboys defense. Till then, for Vacha Lombardi, Brian Broaddus, Amber Garcia, I'm Derek Eaton. This has been The Break live on DallasCowboys.com radio.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!